What's up, people? I'm just gonna check that we are good to go, and I see Babanks in the chat. Let's just see. Yeah, we should be good to go. Should be good to go. Cool. What's good, people? My name is Benjy, and welcome back to the Peer Pressure Podcast weekly live show covering all the essential topics. This time ahead of Game Week 28, I'm joined by one of my two regular co-hosts. Unfortunately, Stark couldn't make it today, but hopefully he'll be back for the Game Week 29 pod. And of course, we've got the main man himself, FPL Kayman. Why don't you set us a like target for this episode, bro?
What's going on? Everyone? Everyone's doing well. Sorry, just give me 2 seconds. Yeah. In terms of likes, let's get 50 likes, my guys. Come on, inshallah, 50 likes.
Facts, bro. Cool. We'll head into the availability report first, quickly. Few things here to note. We saw Ben White's flagged now. Cucurella is out for a couple weeks. Esteval hamstring. Coyote Hickey. Few injuries there. We're going to wait on more info. Big thing for Man United. Calf injury for Lisandro Martinez. It's going to be a really big blow to our not only defense but also our attack. Lisandro is really, really important in terms of line breaking passes, building up attacks, even playing in behind balls. So that's going to be really important. And that's something to note. In terms of suspensions, Krejci will be back in Game Week 29. He's suspended for the Aston Villa game. Elsewhere, there's a few injuries at Fulham. Chukwueze and Kevin picked up a few injuries as well as Robinson, and that does boost the minutes of Harry Wilson. Cool. And always, guys, as always, we do have our Peer Pressure Plus Patreon. The first link in the video description. If you are interested in getting more personalized and exclusive stuff from us, then do check that out, and make sure you subscribe to Kayman on YouTube and follow Stark on Twitter. And guys, if you're not subbed, please sub. We're like 11 subs away from 3K on YouTube, so please do hit that subscribe button. Cool. We'll head into the Discord Q&A first, Kayman. The first question I have for you comes from IBK, as we all know, our boy.
Yeah.
Is Nico O'Reilly a trap?
That's such a strong word to use for someone of that talent of Nico O'Reilly. But I think I would have rather rephrased the question is Nico O'Reilly a rotation risk asset rather than a trap? Because I think he's talented and he was a template pick at one point, although he didn't live up to the hype due to the fact that obviously City were not keeping many clean sheets, and he was also not getting many attacking returns. To be honest, he didn't get any attacking returns in that period where he was template. So at that time, when everyone went to him, he was a trap. But at the moment, currently, the position that he's playing in advanced role number 8 in midfield, where Reinders normally plays, as a defender who gets also clean sheet points, I think it's overpowered, if I'm being honest with you, because he's a midfielder classified as a left back / right back in the game at the moment. But really and truly, he's a midfielder and he's getting into very, very favorable positions to be able to score. And clean sheet is just literally a bonus. So I would not say it's a trap, but rotation risk, yes, to an extent, especially when the Champions League do come into play, he will be a small rotation risk. But in the short term, I think he should be fine.
And just coming to the defender meta here, if you can see Nico O'Reilly, he has some of the best underlying stats across all of the defensive picks in the entire game. He's averaging over a shot per 90. He's got really, really great XGI. Only Timber and Munoz have better XGI than him, really. So he is extremely attacking. Even his early numbers this season were still very strong, and it's now boosted by the fact that he's playing in midfield. He's getting good chances, and now he's picking up goals. So I definitely don't think he's a trap, but something to be cautious about, the spacing schedule, which I do agree with Kayman. Europe comes back in and around before and after West Ham, which is, would you say it's a money fixture, Kayman? I think so, right? That's a fixture you want to get.
West Ham is a money fixture. Yeah,
not to mention, it's Europe, then West Ham, then Europe, then it's Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. So could he be rotated? Maybe, but it depends. I think who they draw. Yeah, I think it depends who they draw.
I think, because you would expect them to beat West Ham even if they're not playing their starting 11, right? Main starting 11, right?
Yeah.
So if there is a time to rest him, it could be that West Ham game, and I agree with you. I think if you don't have him right now, especially due to the fact that he also blanks and there's a small chance of rotation, doesn't seem very ideal going there unless you're sitting there with 4 free transfers or something like that, and you can afford a luxury move. Or on the other hand, you have maybe 2 or 3 blankers, and you don't need to worry about blank, assets. You don't need to worry about getting 11 outfield players in Game Week 31. You can comfortably do that. But I think yeah, those are the two times I'd consider buying him. But right now, he's obviously, those who own him, they're fortunate. But I wouldn't basically, break the bank or take -4s to get O'Reilly. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
doing that personally.
I'd
Yeah.
agree with that. Cool. Second question from IBK. He is a Sanchez owner. Chelsea's run of fixtures have ended. Which goalkeeper should he switch to? In my opinion, I've already given him this advice. I told him Sanchez there for the long term. You're gonna play Dubravka this week, but if you're gonna move for a keeper, I think Kelleher is the one that really makes sense. Otherwise, I would probably look at getting him up to Donnarumma if you really wanted to move a keeper. But
Oh,
personally, I think it's a
never.
waste of a
No.
transfer.
Unless how many transfers IBK has? Does he have 4 or 3 or 4?
3
Like,
or
is he
4,
on a
yeah.
luxury?
But
Okay, so
he's
he's got
already
a lot of
wild
transfers.
carded. He's wild carded, right? So he's saving those for
Oh,
32.
okay. Um, Look, I think it's tough if you're already wild carded. You don't want to be transferring out keepers unless you're looking to keep them right now. If you get a keeper for the whole season, you do not want to be spending another transfer right now. Basically, if you spend a transfer right now, it needs to be for the whole season. And I'm not sure if Keller is the guy for the whole remainder of the season. I think if you have Sanchez, I think I would just keep him personally. I think Chelsea, obviously, they didn't keep any clean sheets in the tougher fixtures, but I would not be surprised if they do keep. Sorry, I know they didn't keep any clean sheets in the easier fixtures, but I would not be surprised if they were to keep some clean sheets in the tougher fixtures because that's how the cookie crumbles. When you sell this type of assets that play for like top 6 teams, they could return in any given game week, and Chelsea could keep a clean sheet in any given game week as well. Of course, recently due to the injury of Cucurella and the fact that they've also lost who else they lost Benjy. There's another injury. There's a key injury there.
Esteval.
Remind me.
Esteval,
Esteval. Of
yeah.
course, there's also don't have Corbo either. So they've
Fafana
got quite a few
suspension.
key. Fofana's also suspended, so they're missing their key assets defensively. So that does hinder them. But I just think you just gotta hope and rely on some save points. Are you expecting the tougher fixtures to get some save points for Sanchez? He's pretty good for that. So if you get 3 points from your keeper, I'll take that as a W and go there. And that's coming from experience, someone who's on Petrovic this season. And not to mention, I've actually played Dubravka in a lot of the weeks as well. The reason why I did play him is because he's a save monster. I think just behind Rufus, he's in second in the league in terms of leading from save points. Benjy, also correct me on that stat if I'm not wrong. So you do have an alternative if you want to play Dubravka in certain weeks, you know. So I just think I wouldn't waste the
Yeah.
transfer there, especially if you already used your wild card. I just don't think there's an upside like that with the keeper.
Yeah, I
So
100% agree. And just finishing off, I understand Chelsea are bottom of the fixture ticker, but the issue is that they are still strong defense, and they're also one of the highest projected teams for a double later on. So could you be selling a double in keeper without a wild card in hand? It's definitely not a move that I would be making. I would just be starting Dubravka this week. Okay, we're gonna come into Manu's questions because we're a little bit short on time today. The midfield options we will discuss in just a second, but the other question I wanted to touch on was, is Timber Kayman? Is he a must sell? I know that's strong words, but
yeah,
he's been really
I would
disappointing,
like to,
hasn't he?
yeah. I would also like to rephrase that a little bit. I don't think he's a must sell, but I do think he's a sell. Just like I do with the O'Reilly instead of a trap, I replaced it with a rotation. So the question in terms of must sell would be no. But if I slightly adjust the words, which I know is not the question, forgive me, man, if I don't want to change your words. But to answer just straight up yes or no, it's not a must sell because you might have players that are injured, you might have other fires to put out. Timber wouldn't be the number one option for you to put out. Like, he's just at the end of the day, he is a starting Arsenal defender who's always got the best odds for clean sheets in any given fixture. So I don't think he's a must sell. But I do think he's, for his price, he doesn't justify it. He's a 2 or a 6 point merchant. And in the coming weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if he does get a bench as well. So he is a sell, in my opinion, if you can sell him. And if you don't have any other fires to put out, whether it be injured players and things like that. So yeah, that would be my answer, yeah.
Yeah, I'd second that. I think that he's an acceptable sell, but if you can hold him and you want to hold him, you can. But if you want to sell him, you can also, because I just think his minutes are a little bit shaky now. I thought Mosquera was fantastic coming into that Spurs game at right back. I thought he was fantastic, and I think that him playing there again is very, very possible considering the amount of minutes Timbers played this season, and with Champions League coming back, yeah, there's definitely a bit of chance of rotation. So if you want to sell, go ahead. I think it's an acceptable sell, but not a must sell. Not a must sell. Cool. We'll move into the budget midfielders came in, and that's where a lot of focus for a lot of people are. So I've created a list of most of the midfielders, kind of 7 million and below. People will be looking to buy. Obviously, we have the two Brentford boys. We got Szoboszlai, Wilson, Ryan. I know you're a Harry Wilson guy, so talk to me about what you've seen from him. Is he your favorite in this price point?
I just want to mention one thing on the if you go to the previous slide, because I know I didn't mention alternative food to sell to, because I know that one of the most popular picks is obviously O'Reilly as well as Virgil van Dijk, who might be the most popular pick because he did score 17 pointer for double the 11 pointer. So if you got a free transfer and you don't have any other fives to put out, I would be selling Timber to Virgil van Dijk. And just wanted to mention that because because a lot of people might be wondering whether to do that or not. And I do think it's probably a good move considering the fact that Timber does blank in game week 31. Which we know for sure, and Van Dijk does a fixture. So from that standpoint, you are selling a blanking player for a player that has a good fixture in the short term, as well as a playable fixture in game 31. So yes, I just wanted to mention that. We can go back to the midfield,
Cool.
Benjy.
Yeah, budget mids. Talk to me, Kayman.
Harry Wilson, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but look, Harry Wilson. Look, I think he's just he's actually done an interview where he said, I've been able to show a lot of what I can offer due to the fact that I've been getting a lot more minutes this season, and I do think that the more minutes I get, the better I perform. That's something that he said himself. So obviously, the Fulham manager, he is trusting Harry Wilson this season, and I think to an extent he didn't have a choice, considering the fact that how much lack of options they had in terms of attackers. They didn't really make many signings. I think they only signed Kevin in the summer window. They didn't really have anyone else coming in. So Harry Wilson did have to come up and step it up basically and get the GA, which he did, and he's having a really, really good season. And he's coming at what, 5 million? Was it 5.2 million or 5.5? What did he come in
maybe
at?
5.5, I think.
Maybe 5 million, right? Yeah, now he's like 6 million or 5.9. So he's had a phenomenal season up until now, and he's a proven asset in that budget market for this season, I would say. So in terms of a best one, I will put him up there along with Tavernier as well as Harry Wilson, and those are my two favorites. I think Dango is the talk of the town due to the fact that in the reverse fixtures versus his promoted teams, he did have really good returns. It's just that due to the fact that obviously there's Ramadan, and also there's the fact that if Brentford are not performing very well, and you have, for example, Dango as well as a Thiago, and you're doubled up on Brentford, and it was just on the weekend they didn't have a very good performance. That's two players that are going to be blanking, and they're not exactly a top 6 team that you can just expect them to just pull out, some sort of return out of thin air. At the end of the day, they are a mid-table team, and I'm not sure about doubling up on their attack. If he was to say, okay, I don't have Thiago, I'm just going to go Dango or Sade, then I understand it. But if you could double up on them, you're putting a lot of stock into Brentford, which I would be cautious about.
Yeah, I'll come in after that, and what I would want to bring to you guys is the spacing schedule, because they've got 2 away trips next: a Saturday, Tuesday turnaround, Burnley away, Bournemouth away. Bournemouth away is a long trip, guys. It's a long trip. So ultimately, if you've been paying attention to what Keith Andrews has been doing this season, he has been prone to rotation. Guys like Collins has slipped out the team. Sade's had a few early subs. So I'm a little bit concerned with Dango and Sade's minutes. And if you look at what Harry Wilson is, and Fulham's spacing is, Tottenham at home, West Ham at home, Sunday, Wednesday. Yes, it's the same turnaround, but both games are at home. His competition, as we showed you in the availability report, Chukwueze injured, Kevin injured. They do not really have many other wingers to play over him if he's having a stinker, right? So if I look at minutes, I look at he's got set piece share. He's already having a fantastic season. He's in great form, and he's one of the best finishers in this market that you can get. Right? Look at the big chances total, which means how many big chances are these guys getting? He's getting nothing, but he's been such a good finisher this season that he's still coming out with 8 goals on top of it. His non-pen XGI is solid, sitting around 0.4 XGI per 90, really good. Decent from shots on target per 90, shots inside the box per 90. And if you look at double-digit holes, it's him and Dango sitting on 4 each. And I do think Harry Wilson is the top of this bracket. And if you're looking for a midfielder here, I would be looking at Harry Wilson. I really do like Ryan just because his minutes have been really solid. Over his 3 starts, he's averaged 89 minutes. Really, really solid. Great data. He's physical. And the matchups are really, really nice. I think Sunderland, then it's Brentford, who have a few fullback injuries themselves. So I really do think Ryan and Wilson are the 2 that I really like. I'm a bit concerned about Tavernier. If you look at if we go back to the spacing schedule and look at Bournemouth, it's a Sunday, Wednesday. Yes, 2 home games, but Tavernier's just back from injury. I saw a quote from Areola who said he still needs to build the minutes, right? And that's just puts me off a bit. I don't know about you, Kayman.
So if you go to that, okay, fair enough. I think we can take Tavernier out of the question right now due to the fact that he's just back from an injury, and the sensible thing to do is not to go for him right now.
Mm,
So then it really comes down to Dango versus Wilson. I don't think many people will be going to Sade because recently he got benched, and I understand that's reasonable concern of him being a rotation risk. And I think who came in for him was a Lewis Potter that came in for him.
yeah.
He's someone that while Sade was suspended, he's done quite well. So could he, if Sade has a poor, I don't know, first half or second half, he could easily come off. So that could be said for both Dango and Sade, but of course Dango has done really well this season, and he may have a bit more favor, a bit more grace with his manager. But then let's just simplify it. So at his numbers, who has the better numbers in terms of XG when you compare Dango, Wilson,
Dango.
and Rayon? I think those are the three.
Dango has the best numbers. Ryan's numbers are only three games we have, 3 or 4 games. So
Okay,
ultimately Dango, at least we have a
small
level
sample
of
size,
15,
yeah.
16 starts. He's averaging the most big chances total per 90 in this entire list. So he is getting
Okay.
into goal scoring chances. He's also been quite creative, 0.36 big chances created per 90. He's been
But he
okay.
doesn't have any set pieces, right? He doesn't have anything,
No,
right?
he doesn't.
From that.
And by the way, guys, he's not on 17 bonus. That's Harry Wilson. It was just a mistake on my part.
Okay.
So,
So
yeah.
think about this, right? So let's just make it even further. Let's further simplify it. Let's say we do Dango versus Wilson comparison, right? Let's just say now we're not going Ryan because the data is a bit more skewed because of small sample size. He's only played 3 games. Whereas Dango and Harry Wilson, there's much more bigger sample size. We're almost 70% of the season done already. So these guys have played and we can see their numbers really well and analyze them. So where is the gap between Wilson? I'm saying just a non-penalty XGI that Dango has advantage over Harry Wilson. What else does he have advantage over?
He's getting better quality chances. He's getting bigger chances, whereas Wilson's not really getting too many big chances. If you look at big chances total, Wilson's averaging 0.09 per 90.
Yep.
There's a huge difference there, but Wilson's a much better finisher and has been a better finisher across the entire
Exactly,
season.
exactly. Thank you. And you know what else? Wilson is much more talismanic than your Dango, whereas Brentford have their talisman in Thiago right now, right? So because I already have an option to go Thiago, a talismanic asset who's on pens 90 minutes, I don't see the need for me to go double up on Dango. I think I understand if you're going for an edge, it's fine. But because there isn't anyone else that's putting their hands up from Fulham, for example, now that Muniz is back, Raul's minutes is out. So it's just feel like if you're a manager who likes to double down and put all your eggs in one basket, fair enough, you double up on Thiago and Dango. But if you're a manager who likes to spread the risk a little bit more, I think Wilson is the answer for you, if I'm
Mm,
being honest. Because you already have Thiago, which I think is the best option to go from Brentford still in this run, and I think Wilson is
yeah.
probably someone also really good. So yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of, over the next 4, who's projected to score the most goals out of kind of those teams? Liverpool obviously on the top, Newcastle are up there too. Then it's Bournemouth. Bournemouth's above the Fulham and Brentford, but then it's Bournemouth, then it's Fulham, then it's Brentford. So Fulham are actually equivalent in terms of projected goals over this next patch, and I think Fulham's fixtures are fantastic. I think they're actually slightly better than what's it called? Than Brentford's. I think Fulham's fixtures slightly
How
over the
do I
next
know which
4.
one is at home, Benjy? How do I know which ones are at home
In
fixtures
caps,
here?
in caps.
Okay, in caps. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay.
Tottenham home,
So
West
how
Ham
many
home,
guys?
Burnley home. Fantastic fixtures.
Wow, wow, yeah. I think look, and Harry Wilson is a home player. Let's not get it twisted. He loves to show out his home. So listen, guys, if you ask me between Dango and Harry Wilson, I'm picking Harry Wilson. Maybe there's some
Facts.
bias there because I've owned him majority of the season. But listen, hey, the guy can do some damage. So and he does have more rooster points as well. So I like Harry Wilson, but
Yeah.
Dango is a fine option himself. So
Yeah, I just don't want to play with the minutes, and I think Harry Wilson is just sometimes you want to ride the hot hand, right? And that's what I think
yeah.
Wilson is. He's got set pieces. For me, it's him, then it's Ryan, then I would look at Szoboszlai. Maybe Szoboszlai second. I do think Szoboszlai is very interesting, and the reason I say that is because if Salah's getting early subs and Wirtz has having little niggles, we know Szoboszlai is going to be on the pitch for 95 minutes, 96 minutes, whatever the injury time is. He's already on set pieces. If Mo goes off early, he's on the penalties too. And if Wirtz is kind of, dealing with his own thing, then he's also getting more 10 minutes. And I think all of these things really benefit Szoboszlai, and he's starting to pick up a little bit of form as well. So I do think Szoboszlai is a decent asset. I am personally considering him as well. Any final thoughts here, Cayman?
No, I think the options you just mentioned, I wouldn't have Thomas Light in my top three amongst the mids that are there. I'd probably go Harry Wilson one. I'll probably go Dango or Sade. I'll put them together second, and I'll probably say I would have loved to say Tavernier, but because of injury concern, I'll just go for you know what. I'll go for Ilya Anderson, bruv. I'll go for Ilya Anderson. I think Ilya Anderson can match Ryan just with Defcon. I think he can. So that's a bit, like maybe outside the box thinking, or maybe I'm just being template or boring, but I'll put Ilya Anderson in there as well. I feel like he's not been talked about enough. He's been really consistent himself. So yeah.
Cool. Sweet. We'll move into the Liverpool picks, and I've got two tables I've taken from Fantasy Football Scout, and one of them is kind of analyzing Liverpool picks in terms of who's offering the most goal threat and who's offering the most assist threat, because a lot of people will be interested in Liverpool investment. Fixtures are fantastic. They're top of the projected goals and clean sheets over the next four. So if you're looking at a wildcard 32, Liverpool is some place, definitely a place and a team that you should be looking at. In terms of long-term fixtures, over the next 8, they're sitting top 4 in the fixture ticker as well, according to Fantasy Football Scout. So they are going to be on the menu, Kayman, and it's Ekitike, Salah who are really offering the most goal threat. And in terms of assist threat, you see Szoboszlai up there, and this is why I am interested in Szoboszlai. He's been very creative, especially from set pieces, and I understand Liverpool have been a poor set piece team across the season, but a month ago they sacked their old set piece coach, and since then they've been scoring set pieces in every single competition. So I am definitely more interested in Szoboszlai. I don't know about you. Are you interested in any Liverpool at all, or not really?
I'm gonna wait for them one more week. I'm probably gonna be interested in Virgil van Dijk if I'm being honest with you, and then I'm gonna wait for one more week before I decide which attacker to get. I have quite a few options. I think I'm looking at. Obviously, you said Soboslai is definitely an
Yeah.
option, but my favorite is probably Verts. I'm gonna wait for him to see what's his fitness like. I can't go this week simply because he did pick up a knock last week. If he does play this week and he looks good and the minutes are there, I'm definitely gonna consider him next week. But at the moment, I'm not really interested in the attackers. The attack does not look that great, if I'm being honest. So I want to wait one more week before I commit to one. But if I had to go this week, it will have to be Ekitike, just because I'm not sure about Vert's fitness.
Yeah. And in terms of Liverpool's schedule, it is a little bit tighter, and the reason I say that is because they're playing Wolves twice in 4 days. They're playing Wolves in the league on Tuesday, and they're playing them in the FA Cup on Friday. So it's West Ham Saturday, Wolves Tuesday, and then Wolves again on Friday. So it is quite tight, and you want to get the minutes right, and that's why I'm saying I don't play with minutes, especially in midweek rounds. I would, if you really want an attacker, I would go Szoboszlai. At least have a little piece, rather than play around with Mo and Ekitike, all these
No,
overpriced
but
assets.
the issue with Soboslai is Frimpong is not back yet, and you can potentially buy an asset who's playing right back. Is a center was a number 10. That's the issue with Soboslai, Benji. I think I'll be worried about that. I don't think you need to go for a Liverpool attacker right now because there's not a clear cut
Mm.
number one, especially with Verts being out right now. So
Yeah, so
I think
in
you
the
can you
first
can you
half
can delay it
against
one more week.
Forest,
Yeah,
they had
yeah,
Szoboszlai at right back and Curtis Jones, I think, was in the midfield. Second
yeah.
half, they changed that, and it worked a lot better. And I think Slot knows he needs to put Szoboszlai in the midfield. So, but even if he does play a little bit at right back, that's fine. Defcon numbers shoot up there a little bit, so I'm perfectly okay with it. I don't think
Y-
positioning is the issue with Szoboszlai. He's just
I
very
don't know.
versatile. I think he can return across the entire pitch, really.
He's not a Rice. He's not Rice. I'm sorry, he's not Rice. Like I think Rice proffers much more going forward, and as well as the step, but they're a much better set piece team as well. So I wouldn't, and Rice doesn't play right back as well. So I don't know, man. I just think Soboslai, you got to be careful with that, especially because of the element of right back. As I said, I wouldn't risk it. I think there is much better options in Dango, in Wilson, in Ryan or Ilya Anderson. Like there is, if you want a Defcon mid, there's no one better than Ilya Anderson, respectfully. So I wouldn't be buying Soboslai for Defcon, and because of the
So,
fact that he can
so
play
you're
right back,
you're
I wouldn't
basically
buy.
recommending 0 Liverpool attackers to buy this week.
At the moment, as I said, I would wait one more week just to see what's the
It's too
fitness of
late.
Florian
You're not. Are
Wirtz.
you gonna buy them for a midweek round? You're gonna buy
If
them
Florian Wirtz
midweek.
doesn't, wait, if Florian Wirtz doesn't get any minutes this week, or he gets like 20 minutes off the bench, I think he could start Wolves. Yes,
Yeah.
why would I not buy him?
I think Verts
Right.
is
So
just the absolute no. Like, I'm just unless Slot comes out on Friday and says, yeah, he's fine. He's been in training all week. He's fit. It's just a tiny thing. He's fine. He's a no. You need that full clearance. You can't play with
no, I
8.4 million of your budget, man. I don't care if he's playing 20, 40, 60 minutes against West Ham. He needs to be cleared by the coach.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm not taking the risk, and I wouldn't recommend
My
it for anyone
stance on
else.
Liverpool right now is I would prioritize a defender, Van Dijk, over an attacker. That's my stance on Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. And if somebody was saying I really wanted one, who would you go for to buy this week?
Ekitike.
Yeah, I think Ekitike is okay. Yeah, first I wouldn't buy him, but he's definitely offering the biggest goal threat in that team. He's averaging 1.6 big chances per 90 in the league this season. That's more than all of their other attackers by far. The issue with Ekitike is that his finishing's been a little bit off recently. He's been missing a few chances, a bit out of form, but fixtures breed form, and certainly West Ham and Wolves are good fixtures, right, Kayman?
Yes, I agree.
100%. Cool. Sweet. We'll move into the Captaincy Matrix here. And just to have a little look at captaincy over the next few weeks. Now, in my opinion, this week we'll discuss, but if we're looking 29, it gets a little interesting, right? And the reason why it gets interesting is because I only see really 2 top team fixtures where you can captain, and that's Liverpool and City. I'm not captaining an Arsenal at Brighton. I'm not captaining Palmer at Villa. I'm not captaining Bruno at Newcastle, right? So you really have only 2 options, and you're kind of forced into captaining Haaland. I don't really see any other alternatives. Let's come to the fixtures. Is there any other teams with good fixtures in 29? Maybe a Harry Wilson, but West Ham kind of shut shop recently. There's nothing, right, Kayman?
I would not be captaining an asset from a mid-table team, especially someone like Harry Wilson was not a talismanic asset. I very rarely do that. I'm a premium captaincy guy, as you know, Benjy, and that's why I'm a big fan of your, of course, Thinking Cap captaincy analysis, because you do obviously put premiums assets only there. If I had to captain someone, I'll be looking at Thiago from Brentford. I'll be honest, I think he provides the best in terms of reliability. He's already got like 17 or 18 goals or something like that this season, and he's also done double digits on multiple occasions. So if someone like Thiago is on form, I think you can definitely consider him. Is in 29 or 30? You said
29.
29. Even Bournemouth is not a terrible fixture. I mean, it's still a good fixture.
Not with a 3-day turnaround, 2 back-to-back away games, no chance.
Yeah, but that's like another but he's coming into the territory of becoming like, we've captained Mbemo before, right? So
yeah, I understand that, but bro, Bournemouth have like the second best home defensive record this season, bro. They're not bums at home. Like, they're not there to get
how about this?
At home,
how about this? If I get Florian Wirtz in 29, as I said, if he gets 20 something minutes or 30 minutes versus West Ham and he looks like he's starting Wolves, I could consider captaining Florian Wirtz. It's not a terrible shot. No, it's not a terrible shot. If it's fair, it's not a terrible shot. Don't look at me like that. I'm giving alternative to Haaland. You want alternative? I'm giving it to you.
No. I'm open to the ideas, but it doesn't fill me with any.
Then it's Haaland. We're just gonna captain Haaland. Let's be honest. Let's just move on.
How boring, bro. It's so boring, man.
No, there are time to take him on. We've taken him on last week. I've taken him the last 4 weeks, Benjy.
Same.
The last 4 weeks I've taken him on.
I know.
I've taken him versus Palace. I mean, sorry, Palmer versus Palace, Palmer versus Wolves, Palmer versus Burnley. Like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, you can't count the game where we got the leak. He got benched, bro. You're saying, I did cap him for that week. Nah, bro, you can't play that, bro. That's not
fair enough. Okay.
But no. We've gone against him a lot. But maybe this is the time to ride him. He's been in good form. Let's come into captaincy this week. 4 options. Haaland at Leeds. Bruno home to Palace. Thiago away to Burnley. And Mo Salah home to West Ham. In terms of projected GA, the bookies have Salah as the most likely to pick up 1 return, with Haaland second.
Do you know why I can't stand your double standard and hypocrisy? Do you know why?
Why?
Salah got subbed off in 1 game around 70 to 80 minutes, and the next week, literally the next podcast we do, you got his minutes down to 80. When Saka was getting hooked, I put
his minutes down, bro. I did. I swear I did.
Do you know what he did? Yeah, it took you not weeks. It took you months for me to tell you to put Saka's minutes down. Every week he had Saka on 90, even though you and I, we both knew damn well his minutes were not 90. And yet You do that with Salah. Come on, Benji, bro.
Okay,
Come on,
but listen,
man.
Salah had
Come
like
on.
a full week's rest, and I was expecting a flat out 90, and he got hooked. So automatically, when I see a Saturday Tuesday turnaround, I'm going, and Rio's performance on the right wing was fantastic. I'm gonna pull his minutes down, of course. I've got to react
No,
to that.
I know, but you didn't react to that when it comes to Saka when he was getting benched.
I did react to that with Saka. No, I
You
did,
put
yeah.
his minutes to
No, don't
90.
be
Come on.
disingenuous, bro. Don't be
No, I'm not
disingenuous,
being
bro.
disingenuous. I called you out on the pod
Don't
that his minutes
actually
were
don't do this.
90.
Okay. Anyways, let's
No.
focus because I'll go through my usual stuff.
Mhm.
Haaland at Leeds, one start, a brace, decent. A Saturday half five kickoff. I have gotten his Saturday half five stats. We'll have a look at in a bit. Bruno Sunday 2 p.m. Palace is a good fixture, and by the way, I think that I can't fully evaluate captaincy until I see what happens in that game. Because let's say that Palace game goes to 120 minutes, extra time, and they're gassed out, and they have to come to Sunday, have to come to Old Trafford. I think they will be much more targetable, but Lacroix is fit, and he's probably going to start tomorrow. So I'm not sure if Palace is that good of a fixture. Burnley, great fixture, and Salah, he's got a nice historicals. Home to West Ham. Bruno's actually blanked 4 out of 5 at home to Palace. So it's a little bit sticky, but it's a different
Can I
Palace,
say
right?
something about Crystal Palace, by the way? You know, Crystal Palace, especially away to United, they've always been somewhat of a kryptonite as well. I don't know if you know, Benji. They've always performed well against West United at the Old Trafford. I don't know if you looked at the historical data there or not. And then secondly, if if Glasner does get sacked, right, and if he loses that European fixture, he does get sacked, which rumors are quite, he may be on his way out, and they get a new manager, and we play a new manager bounce. I'm not captaining Bruno versus versus Palace. That's not happening. So those are the two things that are quite important. I think if we do play a Palace team under Glasner right now, they're in a bit of a bad form. It is a very good captaincy shout. I don't deny it. But I still think I'd prefer someone like a Haaland over him with a promoted team fixture. And I still think I want to say Salah so bad, but Salah has not looked like himself. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't put that captaincy armband on him. I would just go like Thiago. Like if I didn't want to captain Bruno, I would go, or Haaland, I would go Thiago.
Yeah, so if you look at the spacing just under the players, Holland's the only one that's actually getting that extra day over the others. For instance, Bruno Sunday, Wednesday, Thiago Saturday, Tuesday, Mo Saturday, Tuesday, Holland Saturday, Wednesday. So he's got an extra 24 hours over the rest of the candidates heading into that Forest game, which boosts his minutes this week and for the midweek fixture. So those are really, really good positives. Coming into some of the first data that we're going to have a look at, I've changed things a little bit. In the top right, I've got FPL reviews top projected points for this game week, and they have Mo Salah at the top. If you look just in the bottom right, it's actually quite an even split between Bruno and Haaland at the moment. We've got a few guys, Focal, Fran, Praz on Bruno, and a few other guys like Raptor and Harry on Haaland. In terms of the fixture, Burnley by far is the best fixture. We know this. And the thing with Burnley is that despite them sitting in a pretty deep block, they do concede a lot of fast breaks. A fast break is like what Palmer got Kayman when he missed that chance, right? In the back. That's a fast break. So, and that's Thiago's bread and butter. That's how he scored a hat-trick against Everton. So if he gets those transitional situations, it will be a nice captaincy. West Ham have shot ship a little bit more. Recently, their last 6 data is quite good. Palace don't concede fast breaks. So that is a downside for Bruno Cap, but Palace are one of the worst set piece defenses in the entire league, and we all know Bruno is one of the best set piece takers. So there's big added upside there. Kayman, thoughts on some of the data here?
I don't agree with Saka 90 minutes again from the review. I just think even reviews got the agenda of Saka getting 90 minutes. I don't understand how Saka is 90 minutes. Anyways, that's besides the point. Regarding the big six, captaining Haaland, Bruno, I think that that's just wise decision. I think both are good captains, but I think with Bruno there's more caveats. I think with the fact that, as I said, if they get a new manager, there could be a new manager bounce. And the second fact that, is that Palace always, historically speaking, did perform well versus us. Of course, that's with Zaha and with Olise and Eze and others. Historically speaking, they are quite weak right now. But even then, you never know. Like they could pull up an upset. Like I do worry about that fixture. Like we tend to struggle versus these mid-table teams, the Fulhams, the Palaces. You know what I mean? These are a bit more ratty teams, I like to call them. And so, look, I know Bruno done well away at home, but we both saw those returns, Benji. They were quite fortunate returns. I'm sorry, excuse me. Yeah, they were quite fortunate returns, and I still think Haaland is the best captain this week. And the reason why I would say this is that we've seen what Arsenal done to Leeds. If a top team really wants to pour it onto Leeds, we've seen it this season that they can pour it onto them. And I feel like if they were to get one goal quite early on, then the floodgates could open because
Yeah.
Leeds then will have to go after it at their home ground. So yeah, I think it's
As
just
you can
about
see in the fixture analysis, right? Defensive line rank, they're a top 10 defensive line, so they're actually playing quite high up. They don't sit in a low block all game like the likes of a Burnley or a Palace. Their defensive numbers have been okay, but if you kind of stretch it to like last 6 games at home and stuff, that's where they start getting into the bottom 5 for some of the defensive metrics. Like Kayman said, they did concede a lot of XG to Arsenal, a lot of chances as well, but that game was opened up by a few set pieces, so that first goal is really important in that game. If we come to some team strength stuff, how have these attacks been performing recently? It's actually Manchester United's attack who has been the most fruitful over the last 6, 12 goals scored, 10 open play, tied with Man City as well. Liverpool, only 4 open play goals scored in their last 6, but 8.8 XG, so they have really underperformed. It's probably all of Ekitike, which is kind of funny. Brentford's last 6, only 5 goals scored, 3 from open play. Their metrics seem a little bit lower, so that kind of does put me off Thiago captaincy this week. And like I always say, if you're looking to take on Haaland, I want to do it with a midfielder because of the ceiling, right? So Thiago is a no-no for me, but if you really feel it in your gut, go ahead. In terms of best attacks recently, it's definitely been Liverpool underlyings have been the strongest, but in terms of actual goals scored, it's been Man United. And the thing with City's fixtures, they've had tough fixtures over the last 6, tougher fixtures. So it's kind of hard to read into their
I would like
numbers.
to say one more thing. I think even if you have Semenyo and you wanted to captain him and take on Haaland, I think you can do that too. I think he's not a terrible captaincy shout either. But it's just the fact that you're literally relying from open play threat. Like, you don't have no set pieces, no pens, nothing. At least with Haaland, he's a talisman. The minutes are there. The pens are there. So there is multiple routes to points. With Semenyo, you just simply got open play. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Cool. The final part of captaincy I wanted to note is related to Haaland's kickoff time, and it's actually the Saturday 5:30. And I've just because I know that this is one of his favorite and most explosive kickoffs, and I wanted to bring that data to you here today. One of the reasons I started with Haaland, I was confident to captain him in Game Week 1 over Salah, was because he was playing Saturday 5:30, where he bagged a brace against Wolves. He's hit 2 hat-tricks in 14 starts, only 3 blanks, and he's hit double-digit hauls in 50% of games at this kickoff time. He's extremely explosive. If you count how many games he's hit 2 GA plus at this time, you'll just see how explosive and what he can offer at this kickoff, and it's definitely one of his favorite. So just
This
keep
is
that in mind
phenomenal
when you
stuff,
go
by the way,
when you
guys.
go
Guys,
against him.
smash the like button just for this graphic, right? Look at this graphic. This is beautiful. You're not gonna get this anywhere else, guys. This is the key data you need to be able to make a 50-50 decision between a Bruno Fernandes cap or a Haaland cap. Shout out to Benjy and shout out to Thinking Cap, guys. Do hit the like button, do subscribe, and yeah, don't miss out the elite content, lads.
Look at that. 13, 12, 17, 21, 12, 12, 10. Oh my god, bro. Take him
Yeah,
on.
Haaland cap.
What do
Haaland
you think
lock,
about
bro.
the content creators? It looks split, bro, this week, right?
This is good. I'm glad Let's Talk FPL is going with Bruno. I'm glad Focus
I
going with
listened to him
Bruno.
today. He's shaky, bro. He's
No, no,
50-50.
the more people go with Bruno, the more I'm happy because I want the diversity. I want there to be a risk reward. I want there to be a differential cap. Because if everyone's captaining Haaland, what's the point? Then we lose the fun of it. So I want that competitiveness back. And as you said, the premiums have been quite dire this season. And if Bruno starts to step up, if Haaland obviously he's stepped up already, if this premium doing well, then there will be split of captaincy, and that's one of the reasons why last season was so fun because the premiums are banging and get to make between captains. So yeah.
And what do you think about the analytical model? Very low on Haaland this week, bro. Review.
Analytical model. The first thing I saw from analytical model is the fact that Saka's got 90 minutes. That's when I got put off.
No,
To
but
be honest with
I
you.
put that
So
I put that as a custom input, bro.
oh my god, I knew it. I knew that it had to be your work done,
Bro, he's
bro. I
getting
knew it.
90.
Anyways,
He's getting 90, bro.
Saka cap. Why is Saka cap in terms of what? Like,
No. So it's
oh,
top
okay.
to bottom in terms of expected points.
Okay. Saka getting 5 points. I mean, what? You're saying an assist would give him 5 points, right? So yeah, I can see him getting an assist. Saka's, I think, as justifiable. Haaland 6.6. I think he's quite low. I think you give him at least 7 or 8. Um, why is Salah ahead of all of them? I think is they're going off
And
just based on
I've dropped
historical
his
data.
minutes, bro, as well. I've
Yeah, yeah. I
dropped his
think I
minutes.
think they're
That's
going based
crazy,
off his
bro.
historical though. They're going based off historical. I think if that's the case, then I get it,
Yeah.
but it's not the same Salah, man. I'm sorry, he's not the
Yeah,
same guy
two
right now.
blanks in
So
8 home starts at home to West Ham. Pretty good.
yeah,
Although he doesn't have many double returns against them in terms of, 2 GA plus. So those are a few
yeah,
things to consider. Thiago obviously
yeah.
bagged a brace reverse fixture as well. But as we have said, you're not feeling Thiago, right, Kayman?
No, I think because of the fact that he's blanked quite a bit as of recently, there's the fear factor there that because of the poor form, it is hard to back someone of the
Mm,
captaincy. So I think if you had no other options, then I would go there. But if you got a Haaland sitting there, I don't see the need to go there unless you're really really chasing.
yeah. Cool. Just before we head into team selections, we do have a couple extra minutes. I'm just going to talk through some expected data. Who are the strongest attacks in the league that you kind of want to target, especially looking at, Fulham, Bournemouth, Brentford, the key ones to look at. In terms of open play, Fulham are down there. Bournemouth's actually the best open play attack if you're looking for investment. And I do agree. I think that makes sense based off eye test. Bournemouth are extremely good attack, right, Cayman? If you watch
Yeah,
Bournemouth,
yeah,
they attack all the
yeah.
time. I think
They're
by
very
far,
physical. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you're
Neutral, yeah.
looking at an investment point in terms of comparing these budget mids and you're thinking, I want to invest in the best attack, I do think Bournemouth is actually the best attack. And then Brentford, and I think Fulham's the lowest quality attack. But the issue is that Harry Wilson, I think, is the most elite finisher in that group, right?
Can
And
I just say
that's
something about that though? I know the Fulham attack is not that great compared to Bournemouth, and that's partly due to the management style of Areola as well as what's the guy's name from Fulham, the manager, what's his name?
Silva.
Silva, yeah. The Silva style is more pragmatic. He's more like a methodical in terms of
Yeah.
if he needs to attack, he'll go on attack. But he's more, he wants to set up his team in a structure where he doesn't want to concede first. So that's why it's a bit more reserved. Whereas Areola is the style of I want to attack, 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 regardless if I'm down or up. That's the mentality. That's the difference. However, I still think that with Fulham, I think when they do create chances and when they have, they do have the ball, they do create, I would say, the better chances to some extent compared to a Bournemouth because they're a bit more chaotic
Yeah.
style of football. So I think yes, Bournemouth attack is better for sure. I think you expect more goals from them. I also think don't undersell Fulham either. They've been having quite a good season this season, and I think they're challenging for Europe to an extent as well. So they are doing well on both fronts.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. In terms of defensive strength, Liverpool really, really high up there now for defensive metrics. Pretty strong defense based on expected data. But as we know, goals aren't scored via expected data. Goals are scored real time. So
Yeah,
take
yeah,
all of these data points with a pinch of salt because XGI is just an expected measurement tool, and we use that as an aid but not as a bible, right? So Liverpool, I think, is a
yes,
good investment. Let's talk about some defenders because I think a lot of people are actually in the market. Personally, I think
okay,
that Virgil van Dijk is an asset I think you can look to take on. Now, I'm not saying that because I have an agenda. I'm just saying that because I think there's some fantastic budget defenses with really, really good fixtures. The likes of Bournemouth, Brentford, and Fulham. All the teams that we've been talking about today, I really like some of their assets. Now, number one, Ayer, who I'm going to talk about, 4.4 million. And the reason why I think he's fully nailed is if you watch that Brighton game, Collins came off the bench and made a huge error for Welbeck's goal. He is not going to be first choice. Ayer's nailed, guys. I'm quite confident and certain on that. So if you really want a piece of that Brentford defense, I do think you can go for Ayer safely now, considering Collins just came back into the team and made a huge fumble. Elsewhere, Joachim Andersen, he's a great asset. You can look at the Bournemouth defense, but my issue with the fixtures is, apart from Sunderland, maybe Burnley, I don't see many clean sheet fixtures coming down the line. I look at Fulham. I would prefer to back Fulham in 3 fantastic home fixtures rather than just 2 decent fixtures in Sunderland and Burnley for Bournemouth. That's the way I look at it. And I think Fulham, the way Marco Silva plays, like Kayman was saying, kind of structure first. Let's not concede too many chances, although they have conceded quite a lot of big chances this season. I think that Fulham looks like the safer investment at this point. Joachim Andersen, number one. If you've got the money for Van Dijk, go and get him. He's a perfectly good buy. I just think there's cheaper alternatives who will deliver similar points over this run. Kayman?
But right now, people have a lot of money, though, Benjy. That's where I'll counteract to that. I think because the fact that the premiums have been so underwhelming this season, we don't need to have the likes of, I mean, Saka or Palmer right now. The fixtures of swing, and we don't need to have the likes of Salah. There's only one premium we really have, and that's probably Haaland. And Bruno came in at 9 million. There's not exactly 10, 12 million for us to be worried about money. So, and there's also budget enablers like Dango, Harry Wilson, all these options, and the defenders as well. I just think the money is just sitting there. A lot of us have Timber, probably 70 or 80% of the game of Timber. I think if you got the transfers and the money is just sitting there and you don't really need to invest somewhere else, I think it's pretty easy for me to prioritize a Virgil van Dijk ahead of an Anderson or a Ayer, because at the end of the day, they are not a top 6 club. They're not challenging for Europe in terms of Champions League football. And you also don't expect them to get that many attacking returns, whereas a Virgil van Dijk, as we saw as of recently, does have a bit of an attacking threat from himself, and they've also improved from set piece, both offensively and defensively, since they sacked their manager, set piece coach. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. If I was to say to you, I had a guy, he's got 11 players for blank game week 31. He's got 4 free transfers, and he's looking at one of O'Reilly or Van Dijk. Who would you pick?
4 free transfers. Does he have a wild card?
No.
He's already used his wild card, yeah?
Yeah.
Van Dijk.
I'd agree with that. I'd second that. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else here on the defenders, Kayman, or move into team selections?
No, I mean, I think that the hot topic is, of course, the Liverpool boys. I think Van Dijk, and of course you got O'Reilly. If you can, if you have wildcard and you got multiple transfers. I also want to give a shout out to Hill. Hill has been phenomenal. Just like what you said about Ira, I think Phil has been one of the most incredible budget enablers. Really good for DEFCON.
Lucky.
No.
Bowen should have gotten an assist, bro.
No, wait.
2 point, almost 3 XG conceded.
No.
Frauds. Frauds, bro. Frauds.
Hill has been phenomenal. So if you really need money, I don't know why you would, but if you don't have any Bournemouth defender and you wanted to, get an enabler, I think Hill is just there sitting there for you with DEFCON as well as good clean sheet odds, and he also plays in game week 31 blank. So I would consider him for enablers, and I also think Anderson is another one that's just a solid asset from Fulham that you can consider as well. So those are my top 4 probably.
Cool. We'll move into team review and team selection. You want to go first, Kayman? Huge green for you last week, and he is on his way. He's on his way. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've made a bit of a comeback. Alhamdulillah, I'm always grateful to God for that. And look, I could have done much better if I've got my 50-50 right the last 2 weeks. I obviously benched Tial for his 11 punter. I've also...
He was a DEFCON merchant, guys. He got punished.
Hopefully they can. Sorry, Benji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're back, bro. I think you cut out for a sec. You're back now.
Okay, all right. Okay, my bad. All right. So I was just saying, I think if I got my 50 right between Harry Wilson and Mukiele this week, last week, sorry, I would have obviously gained a bit more rank, and the week before as well. But listen, you're gonna get some decision wrong, so I can't complain about too much. O'Reilly with that 2 as just unbelievable. Petrovic clean sheet, remarkable stuff. So yeah, I'm really grateful. A bit of a comeback as well, thanks to Palmer mainly, obviously. And yeah, I mean, looking forward to next week. Obviously, I've made a move, as you guys can see. I did bring in Virgil van Dijk, as I talked about earlier. You guys probably got the indication that, yes, I probably will be getting him in. So I've got Virgil van Dijk for Timber. I'm getting rid of my assets that are blanking in 31 ahead of time. I do think the fixture shooting is there a little bit. I think he was a perfectly fine hold for me, but I was going to sell him at some point regardless, come game week 31. So I just got rid of him now so that I can capitalize on Virgil van Dijk's good fixtures, as well as having for the week that Timber blanks. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. Playing
team's really strong. I noticed that you won't even put your vice captain on Bruno. The agenda's crazy, bro. Genuinely.
What agenda, bro?
He won't even put the vice on him, man. Crazy. He can't stand owning him, bro. He can't stand it.
I want to sell him, bro. I want to sell this guy, bro.
But the team is super strong, bro. The team looks insane. You have like all the picks: Wilson, Thiago, Van Dijk. You have a piece of Bournemouth. You have O'Reilly. You have Arsenal. The team's fantastic, bro.
But
Very
Benji,
good
we
team.
know it's not about how it looks on paper. It's about what they do on grass. So I feel I'm worried now. Now that you say that, I'm actually worried the red arrow is coming because every time I've had good teams this season, they just done absolute rubbish. So hopefully it doesn't happen and they do perform as
Are
they
you gonna
should.
bench Palmer this week?
I think so. I think it's between Gabriel or Palmer for
Because
me. I think
because
if I'm gonna,
you sold Timber, you're actually hoping that they concede, right?
yeah. So it's between Palmer and Gabriel for me, and I might end up going. Listen, the
Gabrielle.
reason why,
Oh.
yeah, or Rice. To be honest,
No,
it's
no, no,
just
no,
the
no.
reason why I have the reason why I have Rice and Gabriel ahead of Palmer now. It's because of the same thing I've been complaining about most of the season. Obviously, I have not complained much about it on the podcast as possible. I've not found it, to be honest, but the meta is what it is. The meta is that Defcon assets are more consistent and it's much more predictable compared to GA. GA is unpredictable, and that's just evident from what we saw last week. Palmer Blanc versus Burnley at home,
Yeah.
and someone like Rice got a return versus who did he play? A Tottenham, for example. So I can see Rice getting Defcon, Gabriel getting Defcon, a 4 point. Can Palmer get a GA? Potentially, but the chances are low. But the chances of these two getting a Defcon is much higher than Palmer getting a GA. So if I play the percentage and the odds there, I think this is the way you want to ideally line up. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a dilemma though. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. That's a dilemma, nothing less. Yeah.
Even I've seen people playing Kroopy, bro.
Kroopy.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna start Kroopy anytime this season anymore. I'm done.
He's scarred, bro.
There's
Bro's scarred, man. Yo, you're cutting out,
I
Kay?
don't
You're
how
cutting out, bro.
I don't think I'm playing him.
And let's just wait for
Why the
him to come
connection is so
back.
bad? Why? I don't know. I apologize.
No, you're
Guys,
good. You're good.
uh,
It'll come back in a second, I think. Can you hear me? You
It's
can hear
on.
me,
Wi-Fi
right?
should on. Wi-Fi is on. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're back now.
Yeah, I
Cool,
can hear
cool,
you. I
cool.
can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, really strong team. Nothing really
Okay.
I would change. I think you've actually got the decisions right, to be honest. I'm not hot starting Palmer myself, but your team looks way better than mine. My team is it's a mess now. It's not looking good, bro. Which is why you can understand why I was actually playing
Yeah.
around with a wild card, because the team it's got problems. 2 frees, open to a lot of paths. Still kind of looking. I think what I will do is sell one of Palmer or Rice down to Wilson, Kroopy up to Thiago. And the reason I want to keep Bowen is not because it's attachment or anything, but because purely I'm coming into a midweek fixture congestion, and West Ham have one of the best spacing that you can get here in terms of they play Saturday, Wednesday. Bowen is good in big games. He can do DEFCON. Would I like to sell him? Yes. But ultimately, I look at some of my midfielders and I think maybe it's good to keep him around because he could be useful in a few weeks later down the line. So I don't know what to do, Kane. I'm open to any suggestions that you're willing to make, because I've got problems, bro, this week.
So, sorry, bro. Sorry. I don't know why I'm getting bad connection. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good. You're good. Don't worry.
Hello.
Yeah, we can. Can you hear me?
Sorry, bro. I'm trying. I don't know what the ghost going on.
Nah, it's
Yeah, I
just
can hear you. I
cool.
can hear you now. I can hear you now. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay, cool. So for you, bro, I think the fact that you got Anderson as Mr. Consistent is something I don't have it. Honest, I think he's another. I'd say a BTEC version of Rice. Believe it or not. Can you still hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lagging for me.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know why.
lagging for me as well.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my bad. All right. I think if the stream can hear me, then it's fine. I'm just gonna keep talking then. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep going, bro. You're good.
Okay. Okay. So basically, I think the fact that you got Anderson is a very good pick, of course, and I think I think if I had a choice, I think I would probably sell NDI ahead of Rice. I think Rice is a very good asset. I think you
The
can
thing
at
is, it
least
doesn't
rely on him
free
to get
enough
something
money
every week.
up for me to go from like Njai to Wilson, because Wilson's the one I want, right? Wilson and then Kroopy up. What I could
Okay.
do is I could sell, but the issue is that I kind of want to keep Njai because he has Burnley at home next week, and it's a big differential. So if anything, I'd
Okay.
want to bench him.
Yeah.
You know, and then at least have him for that
Okay.
fixture and then
Okay.
ship him off. But low-key, I'm not confident in the defense this week. I'm not confident in the midfield this week. Like, I don't like my team. But yeah, there's not really much I can do. I'm just gonna have to
No,
use a transfer somewhere.
I can see why you're worried. For example, you don't want to play Alderete, you don't want to play NDI this week, you don't want to play Krupi ideally, right? These are
Hmm.
three not ideal picks, to be honest. But you have transfers to deal with some of these problems, right? For
Yeah, yeah,
example,
yeah.
if you sell Palmer, you get an asset, you can upgrade one position, then you can upgrade Krupi as well. But what I mean, if you get Thiago and you sell Palmer to, I don't know, a Wilson, I think those are two good options, Benji. And that immediately your team becomes, at least 6 times better, if
Yeah,
not 10 times better. You know what I
yeah.
mean? You get very two good assets, and you can bench and DI then, and you can bench Krupi, and your team looks all of a sudden really, really good on paper. So, um,
I'll tell
I
you
would
what I'm
probably pick
leaning
up. I
towards.
thought you had about Dorothy.
Yeah, I'm leaning. The only reason I'm starting Alderete is because I think Bournemouth's nailed on DEFCON and they're a bit worse at set pieces than what Newcastle are. And the thing is, I have Tior, so I don't know if I want 3 assets in that game. I'd rather have Alderete. But he's bro. They're all bums, man. Genuinely, they're all bums. Look at my team. Look at my team on the left, bro. 36 points. Look at
Yeah, that's
these
pretty rough.
DEFCON bums, bro. I'm sick of them. And literally, bro, Palace kept the jammiest clean sheet, and my Lacroix pulls up with an injury before Wolves, bro. I was fuming with that, but it is what it is. You can't do much. Like, it's okay, but yeah,
Alderete has
my
been a horrible pick. Alderete has been a horrible pick, and it's just,
I'm
yeah,
leaning
man.
towards keeping Palmer, and the reason I say that
Mm.
is because he's just a huge differential. And I still rate Chelsea's attack as one of the best attacks in the league. So I think I'm gonna keep him around just because I can afford to. I'm not in a rush to get Liverpool. So I'm just
Mm.
looking at it like I don't really need to sell him. Might as well just keep him around, bro.
Yeah,
Genuinely. I think you're thinking the same, yeah?
yeah, same. I'm gonna be keeping him. Yeah,
Cool. Cool. Okay, we'll move into the peer pressure team finally. This is how we did last week. 49 points came in. Palmer
yeah,
cap. We did get a few DEFCON hits off the bench, which was quite nice.
yeah.
And we will spin the wheel for the peer pressure point. The name it
Okay.
doesn't land on is the winner. Please, man, I need a
Indeed.
decision. Did you bank a decision? Oh my god,
I banked the
bro.
decision. Yeah, I've got 2 transfers. Yeah, yeah. So I can make
No, you
them
don't
today.
have 2 transfers, bro. That's not how it works,
I
bro.
have one. I have one banked. I have one banked. I have one banked. So
Nah,
I have
that's
two
not how it
transfers.
works, bro.
Yeah. So let's get Steve out, and let's get Cookery out. Let's get Virgil van Dijk in.
Okay.
Virgil in. Let's get Cuckoo out. Esteva out.
Ooh,
Uh,
Wilson.
what can we get? Who can we get? Harry Wilson. Yeah, let's get Wilson in. Yeah, Wilson is good. Yeah,
Wait, can we do anything? But
let's
then
get
we have to
Wilson.
start.
Set done.
We don't have Bruno. Bro, how are we? Oh
Are
my,
we?
this is crazy, bro.
I mean, Bruno's fixture is exactly kind of quite. It's not exactly phenomenal right now, is it?
Are you happy with those moves? I'm
So
happy with those.
yeah, I'm happy with this. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I think you can always. Yeah, I think it's fine. Taking on Bruno, I
Looks
guess.
fine, bro.
Yeah,
All in
yeah.
cap,
I
yeah?
think that's fine. Yeah, 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 for sure. I agree. Yeah. Let's start Virgil.
Oh.
I'll probably bench Timber. I'll probably bench Timber.
No, no,
Yep.
no, no, no. Palmer, no?
Or Palmer. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, whichever one
Palmer,
you
bro.
prefer. Yeah.
Vice on Thiago.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Looks good. I don't think the chat has any questions tonight, so we probably will head off. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for listening in, guys. Do appreciate it. It was a good pod. Cayman, any final words before we head out?
I do apologize for the poor connection. Next time I will work on making sure to fix that. Apologies for that, chat, guys. If you guys are a bit annoyed about that, technical issues.
By the way, guys, I just
But
want to say
overall,
something, yeah? Cayman,
Mm.
he criticizes DEFCON. Look at his decision. He started his DEFCON Mukiele over Wilson this week. And he preaches, oh, I'm an attacker. I love attackers. I love forwards. I love XYZ. He chose to play a 4-back. And you know what? The universe said, I'm going to punish you. And Wilson hit DEFCON. Hold that. Hold that, K. Yes, sir.
I can't even defend myself now, can I?
No, that's a skill issue, bro. Big skill issue.
Uh,
No,
fair
but
play, Benjy.
honestly, I hope you man, I hope you keep climbing. It's been fantastic. O'Reilly's doing the business. I think honestly, bro, your team's fantastic. Like, if you don't get a green this week, I'll be shocked, bro. Who can
I
hurt you
know,
this week? Nobody can hurt you this week, bro.
I don't know. To be honest,
Timber,
I have no idea. Timber, not really. No. Timber's
Semenyo, that's it, bro.
Semenyo. Sorry, yeah, Semenyo is the one. Yeah, Semenyo is a dangerous.
Because you already got all the EO, buddy. You got all the EO, buddy. You ain't. There's no more EO to buy, bro. He can't buy any more EO, bro. Yo, I clocked his game, bro. He just buys EO, bro. Whoever's going up, let me buy it, bro. He just buys the EO, man. This guy
is just labeling me with the craziest narrative now. I start playing Defcon, guys. I buy EO.
Wait. Before we go, Kayman, I actually want to ask you, bro. Just before we go,
bro,
would you genuinely? Would you sell Bowen to Thiago straight up? Like, would you do that?
Bro, it's lagging for me again.
Yo, would you just quickly before we go? I just want to know your thoughts.
So,
would you sell Bowen for Thiago?
Yeah.
And keep Krupi?
Explain to me the reason behind you want to keep Bowen. Just explain to me again.
Because I think he's a stronger asset than Benjy and Anderson. I know I'm paying more, but he has pens, corners, and Defcon. And despite tougher fixtures, I mean, Anderson has tougher fixtures and Benjy has tougher fixtures. I'm just keeping Bowen around because if I keep Krupi and if I sell Thiago, that means that I'm starting Krupi in 31. You know what I mean? Whereas if I
understand that now. I thought about it. I thought about your move and I understand it. I think I understand why you want to go in the route of keeping Bowen. But then you're relying on a striker to get Defcon. It's just, I don't know if I would play like that.
Bro, he's wiping wiping your Verge clean sheet. Oh my god, what happened to Virgil? Come on.
But I need to think about it more, Benjy. But I understand your point of view though. Yeah. I know where you're coming from. I'm much more open to the idea of what you're saying. Because Krupi is a sell for me in 31. If I would have delayed my move, maybe I would have considered keeping Bowen as well to an extent.
But the fixtures are shit, man. They're
exactly,
trash,
yeah.
bro.
That's what I'm saying. If they were middling, like I would have get it. Like it's just
pure
really
whites,
bad.
bro. Whites.
Yeah.
Trash.
I think I was just selling for Thiago. Just be done with it. Just sell to Thiago. Be done with it. Yeah.
Facts, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. We will speak to you in the next one.